Alright, guys. Good evening. Happy Sunday night to you. I thought we'd talk about the PTS 1.8 PTS for PlayStation. I'm on PlayStation if you didn't know that already. And some of the things that are good and some of the things that are bad or odd anyway. I don't even know if we should call it PTS. Maybe we should just call it the Nomad Predator test, bench test, because really that's all I see people running. I have tested out some other builds. I haven't tested them all, and I do plan on testing some more given the time, but of course I do work full-time as well. Alright, the elephant in the room, or the panther, I guess. Predator's Mark. What in the bloody hell were they thinking? Now, maybe it's because Red Storm wasn't involved with Massives, the division, back in 1.3, 1.4, even 1.5. But there was a reason that they nerfed Predator's 100% bleed damage down to 50%. And if they had bothered to ask, they might have realized that. But they didn't. Or they didn't care. So what did they do? The 6-piece now gives 120% bleed damage bonus on top of ignoring any bleed resistance you have, including your immunizer box, your immunizer healing station. So I shot my buddy the other night. He had an immunizer down. He had 48% bleed resistance. And I bled him for 160 to 170,000 damage to a player per bleed. So literally, I stopped shooting him. He bled twice, dead. He couldn't heal fast enough. He couldn't pop a med kit fast enough to stop it. An alt might stop it. A lot of people have been trying to tell me that Nomad can counter it. Well, you're wrong. Hate to tell you, I've tested it extensively, and Nomad does not heal fast enough to stop the bleed. Even if you have 700,000 toughness with 480,000 base health, you'll be dead in 3 bleeds. I am sure they're going to nerf it. That's why nobody should really be upset about it. That's what the test grounds are for. But it is extraordinarily overpowered. There is nothing better in the game. The problem with it is mostly all I see in PvP testing is Predator, because it's the best thing going. And even though it's a test area, nobody likes to die. We all have egos, we all like to think we're the best, and nobody wants to die. So what does everyone do? They put on the strongest Predator build you can. Now, it's funny because if you look at the 6th talent, you need 9,000 stamina to proc that 120% bleed. My current build is 9,200 and change stamina, 4,000 firearms purely to unlock my talents, deadly and so forth. I believe I'm running deadly, unforgiving, and then the house. I'm obviously running the house, and we'll get on that topic in a minute. And whether it's NPCs or players, even with only 4,000 firearms, the way this thing works, it feels like I'm hitting them with 20,000 firearms. I hit like a truck. If you do this build, if you do it correctly, you're stacking all stamina, and you're stacking lots of crit damage and crit chance. The bleed works off your crit chance. So right now I think I have 39% crit chance, which could be a little higher, and 138% crit damage. And even with my potato aim, my awful aim, I destroy players when I hit them. If I hit you with 10 shots, you're going to die. Plain and simple. Alright, enough said about that. I'm sure they're going to nerf it, or at least change it in some way. I don't necessarily say it's a nerf, but correct it, because it is far and beyond what anything else in the game right now. Nomad. Nomad's pretty cool. Nomad, I would say, is almost a must-have for the solo player. And Nomad heals really quickly with the 6-piece. Actually, I have mine stacked all into firearms. And it was interesting tonight, if you watched the stream or if you watched any of my test videos, normally in a contaminated event in the Dark Zone, if you go down there with level 5 when the NPCs show up, the contamination damage is enough to kill you. You really can't go down without at least some kind of support station, whether it's an immunizer or a healing box or even both. Well, the Nomad heals fast enough to actually counteract, that's right, completely counteract the contamination damage. So you literally do not need a healing box at all. I just stood there and tested it for a while, and it was on my stream tonight, and I think I made a short video about it, but pretty awesome. So if you are going to run the Dark Zone and do contaminated events, which are right now the most profitable going, keep a Nomad build and roll all the firearms for the most part. You don't really need to worry about heals, so don't worry about skill power. Okay, what else are we going to talk about? We are going to talk about Rogue 2.0. Rogue 2.0. Some good, some bad. Some people love it, some people hate it. I didn't think I was going to be a fan, and then I said I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to try it out. A couple of things that are a problem with it. The first one is when you try to go rogue, the game stops you dead. You can't run, you can't move, and you stand there. Second problem, everybody sees you going rogue, so they all aim at you. And by the time your animation to go rogue finishes, if you're anywhere near a group of players, you are dead before you can aim down sights at them. That to me is a problem. So really the only way you can go rogue and then go after some people is if you do it and then run in behind them or run in where they didn't see you coming. If you do it in their line of sight and they see you doing it, which they will, they'll just wait for you to finish the animation and they will decimate you before you can actually shoot any of them, for the most part. What else? I don't know if it's intended or a glitch, but you know, when, let's say that I'm on a team and I get killed and they're rogue, and I come back out of the Dark Zone, or back into the Dark Zone, and I get near them, and we tested out, it's about 20 to 25 meters, I would say, away. I go rogue again to whatever level they're on, whether it's Manhunt, Rogue 2, Rogue 4, whatever. Couple problems with this. The first one is I can run that timer off, but I have to be away from my group. I can't be anywhere near my group. Second problem, if I do die when I come back out, my timer is going to reset to the maximum where their timers still continue to go down. So let's say I have 158 seconds, they only have 60 seconds left. Two problems with that. One, they can run away from me, receive their credits, their DZ funds, come right back to me and go right back to Rogue, say 4, and their counter starts over, but my counters continue to go down. So then when my partner comes back to me, any one of them, and I run away, I get the credits, run back to my group, right away I'm top level Rogue 4 again. And so we can cheese this. We can continue on and cheese this and just mount up DZ credits. Now, what are good or DZ credits? I don't know. Maybe they have something in the works, I don't know. But you will cheese DZ credits and experience. So if you're trying to get to level 99 and you're not a level 99, that's a really fast way to do it, unless they fix it. Second problem, if your timer is running down and you are out of ammo and you need to get to a safe house or a checkpoint, you have to make it there. If you're still rogue, you have to make it there on your own, because if your team is with you and your timers are different and they get near you, you're going to go rogue again, you won't get out, and vice versa. So that's a little bit of a problem. I did see Marco Styles' video on how to cheese the manhunt thing. We tested it tonight just to check it out. Once you use the station, it seems to shut down, so they must have fixed that. You have to go to another station. I mean, yes, it would work, but we'd then have to run to another station. What happens is, if you're with a team, you leave the group, they get their manhunt off, they rejoin you, they get their manhunt back, and they can continue on and get the caches that way. Why do I not see this as a problem? Because the caches are trash. All the drops are trash. You don't need them. It's gold and green items, and apparently you can even get a cache out of a cache now. My buddy got 2 of them last night, so I don't know why he'd get a green cache out of a gold cache and vice versa. I personally haven't seen that, but he has no reason to lie to me about it. So, some good. It is good that you can't go accidental rogue. I get that. I agree with that. That's kind of nice. It's always annoying to get a 19-second timer and then get killed. It does encourage multi-grouping against rogue teams, or multi-grouping of rogue teams, I guess, but more so against a rogue team that's on manhunt. Absolutely hate that everyone on the map can see the manhunt terminals. Once you've gone manhunt, they know exactly where you're going and they can just wait for you. They don't even have to find you. I'm sure they're going to change that. So I wouldn't be too worried about that just yet. And if they haven't, I mean, hopefully they listen to, probably not my video, but it would be nice if they did, but they'll listen to someone's video like Marco Styles or like Butter or, you know, somebody who's more famous than little old me. So there's some good, some bad. It's not perfect. I get that they're trying to do something different. I appreciate that. Skirmish 4v4 is a lot of fun. It's a real pain in the ass if you're fighting guys with shields, let me tell you. I fought a team with a couple of shield players and a couple of predators, and they hid behind their shields, and they did a lot of damage. I mean, the predators hid behind the shield guys. Weapons. I haven't tried the sniper rifles. I have no interest in trying the sniper rifles. Sniper rifles to me are boring. The only time I use them generally is if I'm doing a mission. That's me. I don't find they're useful in PvP. I guess they can be, but it's not my style. I like to run and gun. So not to say that they're not great, but I haven't bothered trying them. But what I will say, and I've tried the Alejandro, and I've definitely tried the MPX, the house. The MPX outshines every other gun by far. So basically, the house is this. It's an MP5 with 50 rounds per minute more base and 2,000 base damage more than the MP5. Sorry, I just got a haircut, so I'm itchy. My wife just cut my hair. So really, as far as SMGs, and since they're nerfing the LVOA and the lightweight M4 and a lot of other guns, it's really the only gun to use in PvP. Yes, the Alejandro does damage when you take cover, but let me tell you something. If you try to take cover and stay in cover and use the Alejandro in PvP, you're going to get wrecked. The Alejandro is not bad for PvE. It's a good idea to take cover, so I'm told. I don't do it very often, but I hear it's a good idea to take cover. You live longer. I die a lot. But the MP5, the MPX is, or the house, especially with that flipping card thing where you're getting an extra 25% bonus damage every 10 seconds. The thing's unbelievable. It absolutely wrecks. So, you know, with a speed magazine, you're getting 900 RPM. So same as a lightweight M4 or even a Bullfrog with higher base damage than the Bullfrog with crit chance. You stack crit damage. Like I said, I'm doing 39% crit chance and 135% crit damage, and I'm doing a shit ton of damage. NPCs and players. So I expect that to get, I don't even want to say nerfed, but corrected. Because if it was already released, then it would be a nerf. But I think they're going to correct that to a degree, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. If you're on the PTS, I hope you enjoy it right now. The new waves of enemies, I did a little bit of that. It was okay. You know, I didn't find it too exciting. The new area with the ship and all that, it's cool. I like the disco. The disco, thank God they put that back in. That's a lot of fun. But I really wish they had added something new. And maybe I'm asking too much, but I'd really like to see some new enemies, some new bosses, not just new areas, because scenery is only exciting for about a half an hour, and then it's really the same old grind over again. So that would be my request if they ever wanted to do something, is just add some new enemies, add some new NPCs, change something. Don't just give me a new area with pretty graphics to look at, and that's it. That's because that's what I feel like we're getting. I haven't done any underground. I do plan on doing it sometime soon, but like I said, I do have to work. So 1.8 in a nutshell is really the Nomad Predator show right now. More Predator than anything else, and the house. Like the last PTS on the console, I don't really find people testing enough. Although I do find more testing this time than last time, but I also find very few people in the PTS, so I'd like to see more. I think it's kind of shitty the way they did it. I wish they would just open it up to the public, but maybe their servers probably just can't handle it. So there's some feedback for you. Massive if you're watching, Redstorm if you're watching, Ubisoft, you're probably not, but if you are, there's some of my feedback. I'm enjoying playing, and everyone for, you know, watching the stream, thank you so much. Hopefully you like the stream. Hopefully you like the videos. If you're not a subscriber, I'd appreciate a subscription. We're really close to 2,500 subscribers, so that's awesome. Thank you so much. My goal is to double that to 5,000 in the next month or so. So spread the word. When 1.8 comes out, I will definitely do some new build videos. Until that time, check out my Frankenstein high-end or Hexo or whatever you want to call it build. with three exotics, Bear's chest piece, skull gloves, and a specialized backpack. It absolutely shreds. So if you're still in 1.7, the build video is up there for you. I show you how to do it step by step. You have no reason not to just wreck people. Almost 9,900 firearms with good survivability. It's a good build, trust me, especially in a team. So until later, guys, that's it for now. Hopefully you'll see you in the Dark Zone. I will try and stream some more PTS soon. Have a great day.